Hola! I'm India and I'm back with another video, and I was thinking, why don't I do a video about how to learn languages, because I'm doing GCSE Spanish and want to do A-level Spanish, so. But before anything else, please can you just subscribe, which is like here, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and yeah. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to do, I was thinking about what resources I use, and I thought first of all like vocabulary, because that's really important. So aside from like the specific module vocabulary, which I'll show you in a minute, I use a Collins Spanish dictionary, which is English and Spanish, and it's really useful. I use Word Reference, which is a online dictionary, and it translates word by word, and it's really accurate, and like all my language teachers are like, yeah, please use it, it's really useful, like more than Google Translate. And Spanish dictionary. But I also use this Easy Learning Complete Spanish in Colour book, which I don't know if we actually bought. I think someone might have actually given it to us, but it's got different things in here. So it has like grammar, so it teaches you all about different grammar things. It teaches you about the verbs, so like verb tables, and it teaches about like vocabulary. So you're like, I also feel like I don't really know what like the topic. If I want to learn a whole topic of vocabulary, it's much easier because it's like, if I want to look at sports, they're all here rather than in a dictionary when you kind of have to look them up word by word, like one by one. As I was saying a minute ago, I also like use module vocabulary. You can't see these, okay. So I have module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4 and module 6. This is module 5, this is the start of module 5, because I've started writing out module 5 vocab, but I haven't done that yet. So these are all like from the start of year 10, so they're different styles. I think it's quite important to spend lots of time on these, because I want to get A-level Spanish, but also in terms of like the vocabulary, it's never gonna like die out. My most recent like way of doing these flashcards is to fold it in half, so I can like, I'll show you. So I folded it in half, and on one side it has the Spanish and the other side it has the English. So for example, if I want to read this one, so here I think it says el desayuno, and I know that means breakfast, and then to check I can look here, and then sure enough inside it says breakfast, so it's quite a good way to test yourself. So the next thing I've got is my Viva like grammar and translation book, and I complain about it when I get it for homework because it takes a long time, but it's so useful. So the way it works is it's got like a piece of information at the top about a technique, so it might be a tense, this one's comparatives for example, and then it says lots of different questions below which are like reading and writing, and it might be like write these sentences in Spanish, translate this, like choose a correct option. So it's a really useful purchase. We got it from our school, so if you ask your school they might have something, and I think my school also, because we also do French as GCSE, I don't do it though, there are also ones you can get for French, and I presume there's one for German. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is active learn. So I know when I put a poll on my story a couple of months ago, lots of people said they used it, and I was just going to explain it for the people who don't use it. So it does have to be run by your school, like I'm sorry, but it's an online program with listening and reading activities, and it's just really useful. And I don't know, it takes a long time and there are bits which annoy me, but as a whole thing it works really well, because listening for me, and I think for quite a lot of people, is like the hardest thing, because I can write something, reading I can read it as many times as I want, and speaking I think practice is fine, but I think with listening it just gets quite hard. So yeah. So also on top of listening, I also listen to Spanish music sometimes, and I've sometimes watched the news in Spanish, which is on like Telediario en Cuatro, which is like news in 4 minutes. So that's quite interesting, so I'll try and link that down below if I can. So yeah, so I've basically been using, I don't know if you noticed this little you can't really see it, colourful light, because it makes cute colours. But anyway, I'm gonna go now, but I hope you all have a great week and enjoy the rest of the autumn before it turns winter. Give this video a thumbs up, comment some ideas down below on what you think of this video, and subscribe. Bye guys!